What's up, summoners? King Blair here. If you've climbed in the most recent RTA, you may have felt that you're not really climbing like you used to. You're like, am I just getting really bad at the game? Well, there was actually something that just got changed 2 days ago, which is the point system that was making it increasingly more difficult to climb. So what we're going to be talking about today is the point system right before this previous update. Then we'll talk about why it didn't really work out like the way they intended, even though there was some reasoning behind it, as well as to what they're changing it to now and what they're going to be doing with the new point system. So if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and join the Discord server, link down in the description. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So first, the old point system. So this was changed a couple of days ago, as in like literally 2 days ago. They actually did go back and change one of the previous point systems, and you may have seen it very low that they mentioned that they would be changing the point system back to the way it was before. But how was it 2 days ago, right? And you may have really felt this in the frustration of actually playing as RTA system this previous time. So before this current season, you used to be able to make it all the way up to Legend if you played enough games, right? And I even have a screenshot of someone actually making Legend with a negative win rate. But this season, they had changed the win rate. So if you weren't winning 55 to 60% of your games, you were climbing at a snail's pace, right? And you can kind of still see the effects of that, even though it just got changed. The season has been out for almost a month at this point. And if you look, no one's cracked Legend, right? They're still sitting in an Emperor, which, I mean, it's amazing. But back in the day, at this point, we would already be at 3,000 points, right? So what Smilegate tried to do, and what they mentioned they tried to do, was during the season they didn't notify anyone about the point change system, but what they did is they made it so you were gaining almost as much as you were losing. We do see like a lot more people are coming up, but again, very like not as much inflation as we normally see. The top 100 still hasn't even made it to Emperor, right? Not even close to Legend, right? But the reason why I imagine Smilegate wanted to do this is because if you see here, the breakout is after 2200 and after 2400 for Legend, right? The thing that was happening is that if you remember in previous seasons, we were getting upwards to 4K, even close to 5K points, right? That's how inflated it was actually getting, and it was making it so you have to play a lot of games. Well, they changed it, but what ended up happening is that at lower ranks, you were losing more points than almost exact same as if you're winning, right? And there's even people showing pictures of them losing 10 more points than they were gaining in bronze, right? So it had made it significantly harder to climb. Right, so for example, if we see here, this was before the update. You see here, I was getting 18 points per fight, but I was losing 16 to 18 points per fight as well, right? So I was losing, some was 16, but some were even upwards to like 18, 19, right? I was losing, like for this one, I lost 19 points, right? So it was, you were gaining almost the same number of points you were losing, which meant if you didn't have an above 50% win rate, you were essentially not climbing. And this was true even all the way to bronze, right? And there were some people that were hard stock bronze for some time. So I understood what they wanted to do, Smilegate wanted to do at first with this, because they didn't want this point inflation, but the fact that they put it with all points, it made it very frustrating to climb. And the stream right before the update, the day before, if you watch the stream when I was doing RTA, we were on a win streak, right? I was super close to making it to Masters, but then we went on a massive lose streak, because after we lost the first couple of games, we started getting tilted, because we were like, man, we were losing so many points, and I knew I had to win just as many times as I lost to make up for that. So just thinking about all the other games I had to play got me on tilt, and then I started playing worse and worse and worse until eventually I just lost a ton of progress that I had done that day, and essentially started worse than I started the stream, even though my win rate was above 50%, right? So I was not climbing, and I was getting frustrated because just knowing that you could lose, right? So it almost made climbing RTA a chore and more difficult. Thankfully though, Smilegate was like, you know what? A lot of people are complaining. They probably saw the numbers drop because honestly, I was super close to actually dropping RTA. So they were like, you know guys, we're gonna change it. You know, we try to change it differently, but we're gonna change it back to what we had in the past, where you don't lose as many points and it's a lot easier for you to climb. So they are going back to the previous season. So if you're someone that was not climbing before because RTA just felt like a nightmare, I would wait 1 more week, let some of the point inflections happen, and then you can get back to climbing, or you can start climbing if you haven't started climbing RTA. But yeah, this was the reason why like the top 1000, like Emperor rank essentially, was going to be all the way in just high. Like once I get to high masters, I would already have been Emperor, right? Granted, that's going to change now that the system is back to change. But yeah, that's what happened, and why RTA was getting really frustrating to farm. And if you need to see the actual notice in this previous update, So if we go down here, we actually saw the changes to the RTA World Arena. So we actually saw those changes that they said they would do. So they are keeping the same logic for winning, which I think this is the one thing that's going to help with inflation, because they're not letting you win as many points the higher you go up, right? Like in bronze, you're earning 30 points. Higher up, you're earning 25, 20. Once you get to like champion, it's like 15-ish to 18 points gained, which is normal, right? That's good because you don't want too much inflation, but they're making it so, and they're changing the win and loss. So if you get paired down, it's not as bad, right? So that's good as well, that they're not punishing you as much for losing to players that are lower bracket than you, because that was also really frustrating. So that's really cool. The other thing, though, that is going to be really interesting is this section right here. So since they're going back to the old system, they are giving the players back, like myself, some points back. And this is going to be a mess. I have no idea how they're going to do this, because what's going to end up happening is I've climbed a lot, right? Because I was so frustrated. But now that they're going back to the old system, I'm going to probably be higher than Masters, right? I'm going to try to keep the same rank, and I just want to see how much higher I get put back when they put the points back in, right? So that will be something that we will have to watch how they do. But if you're someone that played RTA before this past Wednesday, right? Before this past update, you are going to get the points that you didn't get before, right? So if you're someone like me who wasn't climbing because my win rate wasn't as high as it should be, that's completely a separate video. But the fact that it wasn't high, but I played a lot, means that someone that has a higher win rate than me is now going to be lower in the ranking than me. So that's going to be crazy. That's going to change up a lot, right? Because usually you could climb by playing more rather than having a really good win rate. And because I've played a significant amount of games, I'm going to be getting a lot of points back. So that's going to be something that's crazy when they do change back to the system. But I just wanted to notify you guys why they even changed it, what was happening, so you guys had a better RTA. As far as RTA, do I think it's safe to climb now? If you're someone that was avoiding RTA because you heard nightmares about the point system, it should be fixed. I would still say wait until they do that extra portion that they said that they're gonna round out, right? Like they said they're gonna round these points out. I would wait until the 16th if you have never played RTA to let some of the players that are not supposed to be master, like myself, I should be much higher than master, to let players like myself and other players climb back up to the ranks that they're supposed to be, to get back to a place where you're not going to be getting dumpstered on, right? Because once the higher level players go up, it'll be a lot easier to get into masters. So again, just wait until the update to get points back before you climb, so that way you're not getting your face shoved in, especially if it's your first time playing. Because even at this rank, I was fighting against like a lot of high level opponents, right? So yeah, just a fun PSA announcement of what was going on. But that is going to be all I have for you guys today, and I will see you next time. Peace. Also, if you guys still have any questions on this, let me know in the comments. But that's all I got. Peace.